back to the news at 10. The second round of the Paris Club refunds have been paid to the 36 states of the Federal Capital Territory. Details of the refunds, which are contained in a statement by the Director of Information in the Federal Ministry of Finance, Mr. Salisu Dambata, show that the total payments amounted to 243.795 billion naira, and a breakdown of the figure showed that Rivers, Kano, Delta, Bayelsa and Akwa Ibom states got the highest payments of 10 billion naira each. Gombe State received 4.472 billion, the lowest among the states, and the FCT got 684 million, according to the statement. The President approved the payment on May the 4th in partial settlement of the long-standing claims by the state governments relating to deductions from the Federation Account Committee allocation for external debt service arising between 1995 and 2002. The full breakdown of the allocations to the states can be found on our website, www.channelstv.com. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency has destroyed over 24,000 kilograms of illicit drugs, including cocaine, narcotics, heroin and cannabis. While carrying out the exercise in Abuja, the chairman of the NDLEA, retired Colonel Muhammad Abdallah, expressed concerns that young people are now abusing unconventional substances such as gasoline and rubber solution used for the patching of tires.
Officials of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency carrying out a drug test to confirm substance abuse. This is the climax of several seizures made across Federal Capital Territory. A total of 24,303 kilograms of illicit drugs were seized by the operatives of the agency. The agency vows to go after those behind the illegal business.
The agency strongly believes that even if drugs are seized, so long as they are still only heaped in custody, they remain a threat. Why we need to publicly exhibit is to reassure the general public that drugs once seized should not find their way back into circulation. It is also to deter drug traffickers from their illicit trade, knowing that once caught, their merchandise will only end up in ashes while they spend their years in jail.
At today's event, we are witnessing the public destruction of 24,303.5806 kilograms, as already stated. Of this number, 24,284.3297 kilograms are cannabis sativa, 23.6787 kilograms psychotropic substances, 1.6256 kilogram cocaine, 0.1084 kilogram heroin, and 0.1082 kilogram amphetamine.
The chairman of the Abuja Municipal Area Council urged the agency to beam its searchlight on motor parks because of the rising state of drug abuse in the area.
Motor parks in the city in particular are in the habit of daily consumption and purchase of these serious illicit drugs as if you are just buying ordinary cigarette.
The agency observed that there is increased involvement of young people in the substance abuse trend and urged Nigerians to come forward with relevant information to address this trend.
Your house is on fire.
The Enugu state government has commenced the demolition of illegal structures across the state to restore the mega city plan. The Commissioner for the Capital Territory Development Authority, Mr. Chidiaro, insists that Governor Ifeanyi Ugwanyi administration is committed to the urban renewal of the city.
We are just trying to restore the city master plan. You see, when it's impossible for vehicles to move, when it's impossible for people to move, when it's impossible for even the people doing environmental sanitation in the city to find ways of desilting the gutters, then that city is run off. And you understand that Enugu is one of the 100 most resilient cities in the world. And then there is no way we can continue to look like this. We had started since last year to give notices, to give warnings to the good people of Enugu State to say, look, let's all partner together to make this place better for all of us. So having given this length of notices, we think that it is now the right time to enforce this process. And it's going on all over the city. And we're not going to back down. The truth is that this process must continue until we have some level of sanity.
The Ogun State government has promised to make healthcare delivery accessible and affordable to all its citizens. The state's Deputy Governor, Mrs. Yetunde Ononuga, made this known today at the Makum Health Center in Shagamu during the launch of the 2017 biannual Maternal, Newborn and Child Health Week.
This week is celebrated twice yearly nationwide to strengthen maternal and child care health services and patronage at the grassroots level. During the week, there are packages for every member of the family that visit the primary health care center closest to them. The objective of the week is to improve the health care seeking behavior of the whole family, especially pregnant women and caregivers of under 5.
The Nigeria Customs Service says it's generated over 25 million naira from July the 3rd to date through its electronic payments auction platform. The Comptroller General of the Nigeria Customs Service, Hamid Ali, who is speaking with top officials of the commercial banks in Abuja, said the plan is expected to generate more revenue for the government through a transparent bid process. He, however, cautioned commercial banks against acts of sabotage.
My side, anything.
The Comptroller General of the Nigerian Customs Service and officials of commercial banks at a meeting to deliberate on how to improve the performance of the recently launched electronic platform for auction. On July the 3rd, the Nigerian Customs Service launched an electronic platform where Nigerians willing to purchase cars and other general goods can use. 2 weeks after this launch, there has been reports making the rounds that only one existing commercial bank was handpicked to facilitate the payment process. But some of the bank officials say technical hitches have been responsible for its inability to key into the new plan.
E-financing is the key today, and that is your own project. So for us to now initiate an if process and for the banks to just pull away, it really gives me a cause for concern. Because I felt even if we had not initiated it, the banks should be interested in it. One is that you're going to derive some fund from there. 2, it's going to ease the process of what we're doing, and it will encourage transparency in what we are doing.
A breakdown of the progress achieved through the electronic auction system was highlighted by officials of the Nigerian Customs Service. They say more revenue for government is expected to be gained with strong support from key players.
Initially, we had only 8 million, but of today we have about 25 million 575,500 naira as duty collected through Jazz Bank.
The latest initiative of the Nigerian Customs Service is expected to ensure transparency, improve the revenue, and give Nigerians who want to participate in its auction exercises equal opportunity to do so.
States across Nigeria have been challenged to enthrone integrity, transparency and accountability in order to attract support from donor agencies and improve the standard of living of citizens. The chairman of the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, Mr. Ekwonta, gave the charge at an event in Calabar, the Cross River State capital. He also made a case for an independent and strong judicial system to prosecute corrupt leaders. The Cross River State government lauded the commission for its fight against corruption.
You are noted as the people who are not transparent in dealing with international donor funds. Then those donor funds will go to other places where you have open transparency processes. So don't think of your today, think of the tomorrow of your own children. Do you pay pensions to retired civil servants? If a retired civil servant does not get his pension, the message you are giving to those who are serving is that begin to amass your pension now. You should have fair recruitment processes. Corruption is abuse of public office for private gain. Now, if because you are a commissioner or a political appointee, you begin to recruit persons from your community, your family members, you come squarely under the ambit of ICPC Act.
The tenets of ICPC underpins our governmental operations, and this is something that we've internalized in terms of how we conduct government business. And as soon as we saw that the ICPC was looking to do an anti-corruption summit, we thought that they would be the perfect partner for the state government to deal with in terms of trying to drive home the importance of discipline and the message of anti-corruption across the country, and mostly with serving public servants.
Let's take a look at some business news for the day. Here's Anne Waudu.
Thank you, Ijoma, and welcome to Business News. Nigeria's rising debt profile, the cost of debt service, and the capacity of the economy to generate enough revenue has been described as a major fault line for the present administration. This is coming from investment banker and group managing director of AfriInvest West Africa, Mr. Ike Chioke, while analyzing Nigeria's macroeconomic environment in the first half of 2017.
2016 budget was 6.1 trillion with a deficit built into it of 1.8 trillion naira. And they fell short of their own revenue target by about 18%, so they had to borrow more. Now, the 2017 budget is even more aggressive. It's a 7.4 trillion naira budget with a built-in deficit of 2.4 trillion naira. Now, the problem with that borrowing is that we're driving the country to a point where you will say that the debt is not sustainable. I mean, the DMO could argue that with only 15% debt to GDP, that Nigeria is not really that leveraged. But we have to look at it from the capacity to service the debt. In 2016, our debt service to revenue was 33%. In 2017, it's already trending to 66%. So that means for every 1 naira of revenue we make, we spend 66%, 6 kobo to service debt. That is not a sustainable direction to go. Clearly, the government is making efforts to increase and deepen tax revenue. There's a lot of reform coming out in the tax sector. But this will take some time before they trickle in. It may then be more sensible for the government to take a more conservative approach on the budget side by not taking a more, such a large deficit into the budget.
How today's trading session at the Nigerian Stock Exchange closed with further gains and an unusual high overall volume turnover on the back of UBA shares. Chimezie Obiwagu has the details.
Hello and welcome to the Stock Market Report. Massive transaction was recorded at the equities market today. The volume of shares traded was as much as 2.40 billion, worth over 21 billion naira. Today's massive transaction volume and value was majorly driven by UBA, which conducted an off-market trading deal of 2 billion shares at 9.47 naira per share, placing it top on the top trade list. The market is still looking out for the half-year earnings report by major companies as the all-share index continues its sluggish movement in the positive territory. Today, the index closed up by 0.41%. On the price movement chart, Honeywell flour is leading the pack, moving up by 8.29%, while May and Baker lost the most by 5.02%. All other sectors are down except the consumer goods and the industrial sector. Companies such as Guinea Insurance and Wema Bank posted their unaudited results today, and traders are expecting more results, especially from the consumer goods sector, and that, they say, will drive midweek trading. And that was the Stock Market Report. I'm Chimezie Obiwagu.
Well, European stock markets ended negative across board today as global investors react to the gridlock over U.S. healthcare reform bill. But the U.S. Nasdaq and S&P 500 closed at record highs. Let's see the closing numbers for today. With those figures, we end business news for tonight. Thanks a lot for watching. I'm Anne Nwawadu. Back to you, Ijoma.